one game away. Blow up. We're playing for something, man. We're playing for something. Just gotta mean something to you. They gotta mean something. Everything you got. Everything you got. Let's finish this.
Do it, fellas.
Let's go.
Let's do it, fellas.
Finish 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
You ready to make history? Come on now. Yeah. You know, there's these two words. And when I say them, people get goosebumps cause they know what happens next. So without further ado,
Free smoke.
look. Scared cause I'm drowning in silence with bad thoughts. These days I don't have nothing to say, man, the bag talks. I put in headphones on my driver. Pull up to the spot and give a good dick and Godiva. I can't lie, I'm uninspired. No more pillow talking about nonsense. I only stick around to put some band-aids on my conscience. I don't know why I feel so bad, nigga. That's what we do, no foundation. We don't build no more, we just screw. Half a bottle of Henny, girl, I'm going with the wind. The same niggas say they happy for me, ain't want me to win. So I'm done on my friends. Don't need help popping Coronas and reminiscing. I just call up Big Bro J and say it's time for venting. If I live forever, I hold this hate for some centuries. You don't know how much I have you doing what it meant to me, but motherfuck all that. I don't even offer up the time to make the call back. Stupid Lodo, if they don't get the picture now, man, I crop them out of the photo. I can't relate to my peers. Been doing this shit for years. I'm motivated by fears. I took the wheel and I steer. My sound not dictated by fuck boys in Atlanta. Stay gifted like this album was ghost written by Santa Bars forever, like they decided to throw me under Slammer. Every song's a hit like they picture me underhanders. I could drop 1,000,000 songs, but they never gon' understand us. Soapbox sermons for niggas never giving chances. Fight our whole lives to get these weak ass advances. Work twice as hard for the shit that they getting handed. And this ain't even nothing we chose, nigga, we branded. Still can't tell why all of these niggas mad at me. I'm trying to get 100 so I can put my team on salary. Give it all to the art, man, I turn my life to a gallery. Man, damn, what a fucked up masterpiece. 1,100 shots and I swear, man, I felt them all. If we ain't even good on our blocks, man, who can we call? Pre-decline state of mind, we broke crabs in the barrel. Got us fighting our folk, man, this shit just a life of peril.
Winning has a price. And leadership has a price.
No, I thought it generally sucked. I didn't think it was a specific suck. I thought it was like an all-encompassing type of suck. So, we're going to try and rectify that. But for right now, I'm going to be pretty pissed about it.
Welcome back to another episode of Kicking It with Saint. Yo, we got some things to talk about. Guys, I appreciate everybody who watched the show, who tuned in to any of the shows and whatnot. I truly do. But last episode, we got a comment on a video on one of the shows where I can't remember the person's name at the time, but they left a comment saying they just can't listen to the show. It was a weird comment because they said they can't listen to the show because I said bro so many times. I was cursing. I don't know how they got through. I don't know how much of the show they listened to for me to curse and say bro as many times as I possibly said it that irritated them. I don't know. I really don't. But they wished me nothing but success going forward. And I don't know if that was a backhanded ass compliment and whatnot. I don't know if they was looking for me to get them like some crazy reaction. I just told them, unfortunate, have a dope day. But I do want to say something. Because I really don't know why people feel the need to comment stuff like that. And I was tired that day. And I just, some days I tell myself, you're not responding to that. You know what I'm saying? But I don't understand comments like that. Because I'm not finna go to another person's show and tweet or message them or put in the comment section, I would watch your show, but you curse too much. Or I would watch your show, but you do this too much. Why would I try to change up how somebody talk? Now, you could say, man, I wish he cursed a little bit more. Or, man, I wished he used certain phrases a little bit more. But if I'm not sitting on here being racist, if I'm not sitting on here giving you false information or just straight up lying, I really don't understand this problem that certain people have with people cursing or using a specific word too many times. Like I see if it was a word that offended people. I see if it was a word that pissed people off. Really, I only say bro because that stopped me from saying the N-word all the time. And I'm still working on not using the N-word when I'm on the show, because I use the N-word in my everyday life. So when I get on and do a show, I'm trying to make sure I don't use that word. So anytime I'm about to, I use bro instead of the N-word, because that would be far less entertaining for you to listen to if you don't like some of the words I use already. I can't imagine how you'd feel if I just ran around saying the N-word all the time. But honestly, I don't think this type of content is for you, whoever left that comment, because you got to be a child or something, or an adult that's unclear on how the world works, to have a problem with some of the words that I use, specifically because I watch a lot of the big shows that's out and I listen to how they speak on their shows. And the confusion with me is, do you want people to be real and authentic, or do you want people to sound how you want them to sound? Because I can't remember the last time I had a problem with somebody, how they talked. Now, I might have a problem with the message that somebody have. I might have a problem if somebody using racist words all the time as if that's normal. But using certain, I don't know, man. I don't know. But, you know, I hope that person find the show that they looking for. I hope they do. Anyways, how's everybody doing out there today, man? Got a lot of views on that WNBA, on my last WNBA video. I appreciate y'all for that. I truly do. I did not expect that many views on that video that quick. You guys blew my mind. So I appreciate you for that. And we're going to talk about the WNBA tonight, especially the Sparks, because I just got done watching the Sparks game. And I couldn't decide if I wanted to start off talking about the Sparks or not. Bro, I did that on purpose. I just took my shirt off because it was hot as fuck. I couldn't decide if I wanted to start the show off talking about the Sparks, or if I wanted to start the show off talking about some of these playoff basketball games. I'm going to start off talking about playoff basketball. We had 2 Game 7s on Sunday. We had well, first off, let me go to the games that didn't have Game 7s. We had, obviously, the Celtics had moved on, and the other team in Dallas had moved on. So Kyrie and Luka move on to the Western Conference Finals, and the Celtics moved on to the Eastern Conference Finals. Fuck the Celtics. But the 2 Game 7s that we had on Sunday, we had Denver at home taking on the Minnesota Timberwolves at home in Game 7. And we had the Pacers in New York for Game 7. Now, both of these are very interesting because I actually want to start off talking about something that really don't pertain to the actual game, more so morons on Twitter. If you don't watch the show, if this say this is like your first time watching me, I hate Twitter. I have a Twitter, but I don't like Twitter because the amount of people, me and my brother was talking about this yesterday, bro. See, I guess that right there, she would have got pissed off, or he would have got pissed off. That right there, using bro right there, she ain't having it, or he ain't having it. Can't do it. But me and my brother was talking about Twitter yesterday. And it's just so amazing to me. So my brother Gray died last year. He was only 31 years old. He died a week after his birth. No, he died like a couple days after his birthday from cancer. And Gray, like the nicest person I done ever met in my lifetime. Like my brother Gray was, you know, people always talk about how good people are and this person was nice and yada, yada, yada. He was one of them. Like all the nice things. I'm not just saying this just to make my brother look good after death. I'm not doing that. Because a lot of people don't know him. So, you know what I'm saying? It don't matter what I say about him. Some people going to believe it. Some people not going to believe him. I understand how this thing works. But Gray was the nicest person I'd have ever, like, that. It's going to sound crazy to some people who might not understand it. But that Gray was like my heart, bro. Like he was definitely the better side of me. He made me a far nicer person than I ever thought I could be. Because of how nice he treated people, bro. Because just how good of a person he was. He went out of his way to make sure everybody else was all right. And I saw so many people take advantage of him, and it pissed me off so much. And he remained the same person. I always see people talk about, you know, people do you dirty, you got to just turn the other cheek, yada, yada. He was the definition of turning the other cheek. Gray would let you fuck him over once and was such a good person. He trusted that you wouldn't fuck him over twice and you still did it. And I'm always there sitting in the background saying, Gray, bro, stop letting people fuck you over like this, bro. Stop trusting people. And every time, he just saw the best in people. He saw the better in people. It don't matter what you were, what you was going through, what you did. He saw. Now, he wasn't crazy where you're a rapist, a murderer, and things like that. But he knew people. He believed in people. He believed in people. And me and my brother Stan was talking about Gray yesterday and not understanding, like, because I think that's the hardest thing in life sometimes is coming to grips or understanding certain things. And I mean, for the last year or so, since he died, I've been trying to figure out why he died at 31. Like, why could this, like, I done had homies and even dudes who I consider brothers die before, but this gonna sound crazy. Most of them I knew that was gonna happen to. Like, the life that I done lived, the life that some of my homies and some of my brothers done lived, when they get shot or when they get killed or when they go away to prison and things like, it's not really oh, I didn't see that coming. You know what I'm saying? As sad as that might sound, or as crazy as that might sound, we knew that was happening. And so when Gray lost his life, such a good person, I couldn't understand it. And me and my brother was talking about on Twitter, because we went to, the reason I didn't upload an episode last night or record last night on Monday night, because it's Tuesday night when I'm recording this. I didn't do it on Monday because I went to a wrestling event in Greensboro. I went to WWE Raw, and I'll talk about that later on in the show. But as me and my brother was driving up to get to the Greensboro Coliseum, we just talking and like, bro, we just don't understand it. We don't understand it. And the biggest thing was, I just don't think, with this limited time that we have here on Earth, for however it may be, you might live 100 years, you might live 10 years. Who knows? I don't understand why people choose to be so cruel, so mean to people while they are here. I don't personally understand it, to be completely honest. And seeing somebody like Gray, who was such a nice person, and I'm biased, obviously, because that was my brother and I've been around him my whole life, basically. So I understand it's a little different, but seeing some of the shit that these young people say on Twitter, bro, seeing how, you know, the word people like to use is crash outs. It used to be a time where people wouldn't openly say certain things because you scared of the backlash. Man, you get on Twitter, people say anything. And I'm just a bit confused as to what is happening that's making people become this. It is so easier for people to be negative, to be mean. For any good comment or for any good thing you see on Twitter, just go to the comment section. It's going to be people in there tearing it down. For anything positively black on Twitter, just go to the comment section. It's going to be a whole bunch of racist white people in the comment section. I'm going to be honest. I'm still shocked at how easy it is to... I'm still amazed at how many openly racist white people exist on Twitter. And how racist rhetoric on Twitter is so easily spread and disseminated. Like, it's kind of baffling. So I hate Twitter. And I'm always just, you know, I be thinking about my brother. I'm like, bro, he did everything in his power to be a good person. I'm on Twitter and these motherfuckers do everything in their being to be the worst type of human being you can possibly be. It's absolutely insane. So I said that to say, yo, be a good person. I always say at the end of the show, you can be anything in the world, so choose to be kind to somebody. Well, let me say that right now. You can be anything in this world. So please please choose to be kind to somebody today. I was looking at a reporter, and I don't know how I missed this. Russell Westbrook was doing an interview. I can't remember if this was when he was with the Clippers or with the Lakers. But Russ is so used to being attacked by the media after the game. And, you know, I be seeing analysts and fans say, oh, they just asking him questions. You can phrase a question a certain way. You can say things a certain way. Your attitude, your tone. If you're a reporter who constantly asking the same type of ignorant questions, and a fan will look at that and say, oh, he right, just because Westbrook might have had a bad game. And fans think it's okay to disrespect an athlete because they had a bad game. So I watched this interview, and I watched this woman reporter. I don't know her name. I don't know her age, but shout out to her. I'm pretty sure you guys know the clip or will find the clip. And she was talking about how Russ made some impressive turnaround, like 180 jump shot. He made some impressive layups. Like, he made some impressive shots. She was just so complimentary of Russ. And you could tell it took him back. Like, it just shocked him because he's so used to being attacked in the media that when somebody finally genuinely just was, I would honestly say when somebody genuinely just did their job with a heart attached to them, like, everybody be like, bro, they just doing their job. So the job requirement says in the description, be a dickhead to athletes because they make more money. They can take it. So shout out to that woman, bro. And I say that to say, you don't understand how the simplest compliments can affect people. Like, you don't understand how just a few good words can just massively improve somebody's day. Massively improve somebody's day. That's why I try to, every show, I tell you, be kind to somebody. Tell somebody you fuck with them. Tell somebody you love them. We don't think about these things on an everyday basis because we'll see somebody happy and we'll be like, oh, they good. We don't need to do that. Why not make them happier? I know some people who so used to not getting like compliments or people telling them they love them that when it happened, they like, what? What you say that for? Yeah, they taken back by it because they not used to being loved on. They're not used to being celebrated. They're not used to being appreciated. Bro, we can do better. And to the girl who wouldn't have wanted me to use bro right there, get over it. Because what I wanted to say was my N-word. Matter of fact, what I wanted to say was, my nigga, we can be better to each other. But I didn't do that. All right? I just wanted to show y'all the little difference on what the show could be or what it would be if I decided to say fuck a filter. Anyways, that's my little spiel to start the show. But I also want to say something else. Because Tyrese Haliburton, I just think at this point, a lot of you dudes on Twitter is a bunch of losers. And let me tell you the biggest reason I think y'all, not just losers, but gay. For the most part, women are not the ones in the comment section and in the likes for these comments or these posts on Twitter where dudes is going at NBA players or athletes, period. Constantly talking shit about them. My problem is, y'all do this, y'all only say certain things on Twitter for likes that you know only another dude is going to like. That's gay to me. Y'all not authentically tweeting. That's probably one of my biggest problems with Twitter. Motherfuckers don't tweet authentically on Twitter. Motherfuckers just steal each other's tweets so they can get a whole bunch of likes. That's it. Twitter is no longer an authentic place unless you racist, because racists seem to be the only people who can be authentically themselves on Twitter, is if you're a racist. I done got suspended from Twitter so many fucking times. I lost my account for a whole fucking year and a half and had to wait till Elon Musk took over to get my shit back. Dead ass. Just because a misunderstanding that Twitter didn't want to fix until Elon took over. Meanwhile, hundreds upon hundreds of racists just sit on Twitter every day without a fear in the world of being suspended on Twitter. Without a fear in the world of having a post deleted. So it's very interesting. But the fact that you guys unauthentically tweet ignorant shit, what I want to know is, how does this make your day better? Because a whole bunch of people like that you don't even know, like the mean comment from you talking trash about an NBA player, that made your day that much better. I think that's my thing. I'm not understanding what being a dickhead on Twitter do for y'all in your real life. Like, y'all try to make athletes feel bad and try to make the world, convince the world that athletes is bad people. Like right now, it's a bunch of dweebs on Twitter talking about, look at the house Jalen Hurts live in. He's so humble. Bro, go to hell. Anybody who is hopping on Twitter saying athletes is humble for buying cheap houses, go to hell. Who are you to tell people how to use their money, bro? Who are you to dictate how humble somebody is based off of how they spend their expenses? It's nobody in your everyday life telling you, oh, you're a good person because you decided not to spend a lot of money today. What kind of shit is that? That's a broke man's mentality. That's a broke human mentality. Oh, he make a lot of money, but he didn't buy a mansion, so he is humble. Bro, you're letting your brokenness show and your bitterness show. And I don't get it. I really don't. Like, that is so infuriating to me. And it's so many people that like that comment, bro. That's what I hate the most. That's what I hate the most. It's because it show you that it's not just one stupid motherfucker thinking like this. It's 1,000 plus. And I'm like, yo. So all of y'all, when y'all get rich, better continue to live in low houses, low income areas. You better continue to live in the hood or in the projects in these rundown houses. When you choose to upgrade your house, it still better be a moderate type of house that's in the hood still, or in a street away from the hood. Don't move out of the hood. Don't move out of a bad neighborhood. Don't move into a nice little neighborhood with trees and shit. Don't move into the big house. No, be humble. Be humble. Don't enhance your life now that you can. Keep looking bummy. Keep doing everything you did before you got rich, since that's how you think everybody should live. I really don't get it. I really don't. I really don't. I wish people would free themselves from that type of... To me, it's just a fucking stupid ass mentality to walk around with. Oh, he make millions of dollars, so if he buy a house that's cheap, he's humble. What? So if somebody go out there and buy $1 million watch, they not humble? It's their fucking money. They can do with it as they please. I can't stand when I see motherfuckers get on Twitter talking about some, hey, he could have fed a whole bunch of families with that, setting us back. It's a lot of niggas who can feed families with their money, and I don't see y'all going at them. You could feed families with your money. You don't got to be rich to feed families. But I don't see you doing that. So I'm sick of you broke people getting on Twitter, bro. Not even just broke people. Broke mentality having ass motherfuckers getting on Twitter trying to tell an athlete how to spend their money. And when they spend it on something, it's, oh, they humble. Oh, they not humble. Yo, go suck a dick. Dead ass. You're irritating as fuck. Now, another thing I want to talk about is you dweebs on Twitter, bro, who keep going at Tyrese Haliburton. Y'all really make no sense. Tyrese Haliburton had the Reggie Miller choke shirt on, hoodie on, but he wore it after the game. And people is on Twitter bitching. Now, if he had worn it before the game, people would have clowned him if they lost. If he hadn't, now that he wore it after the game, when they won, people still talking shit. You really can't win at all. Because we live in a world full of stupid niggas, bruh. At the end of the day, that's what we live in a world full of. And you can't explain it. You can't understand it. You just have to look at these mental individuals and just shake your head. Because a motherfucker who tweets at Tyler Haliburton saying, should have worn it before the game, is the same motherfucker who would have tweeted after the game, goofball wore this and lost. It's the same motherfucker. They play both sides of the card. It's a double head coin. please grow out of this if you are one of those individuals. I don't know what getting on Twitter, going hard at an athlete do for your life. You motherfuckers, and I'm at the point where I understand it's not. I really wish athletes could do something about this, because exposing people who do it don't do nothing, because it's a whole thousands upon people in the comment section who do the same thing that the motherfucker you exposing do. So there's really no win-win in it. I just think Twitter is a cesspool full of fucking weirdos at this point. And the ridiculous part is majority of it is men. It's men. I have no question as to why women hate men when I get on Twitter, because if I was a woman, I would hate men too if I lived on Twitter. I can be on Twitter for a week and I would hate men. I'd go gay if I was a woman, because men is the absolute worst. If I was a woman who was on Twitter, I couldn't believe some of the shit that I see. Some of the shit that bro. That girl mad again if she listening to this. I saw the other day. I saw the Diddy thing. I'm pretty sure everybody's seen the Diddy thing, the Diddy video. And it was dudes in the comment section who said, I can't imagine what Cassie would have done to Diddy to make him do this. Fathers, wives out there, protect your children. Protect your daughters. Because it is some wild ass individuals out here. Specifically, it is some wild ass men out here who didn't grow up with fathers or mothers, or grew up with both and they just wasn't there in their head for the fathers and the mothers, who was raised wrong. Because for you to see that video and say, I can't imagine what Cassie had done to make him do that. That is a man who will beat the dog shit out of your daughter. I'm just letting you know that right now. If you see a man in the comment section who see a woman get beat up like that, and his first thought is that, rather than, I can't imagine if I had a daughter and she was in that situation. His first thought is, I can't imagine what Cassie did to put Diddy in that situation. He will beat the dog shit out of your daughter. So dude, I'm telling you right now, stay safe out there. Stay safe out there. Because these motherfuckers are crazy. The dudes who is coming into this world, I don't know who is raising these animals. It's almost this high school, middle school boys of this generation. They're barbaric. They're barbaric. There's not much else to say about it. And it was something else that was happening on Twitter about an athlete that I'm forgetting about right now. Nonetheless, speaking of Tyrese Haliburton, I do want to go to this game. We'll talk about this game. The Knicks got their asses slapped, pause, in the last game of this series in Game 7 at New York. Tyrese Haliburton a better man than me, because I would have done the Reggie Miller choke before the buzzer sounded. When I knew we was about to win this game, I don't care how much time was left, I would have started doing the choke. I'm not built like Steph Curry, brother. I'm not finna be doing the ring finger in the first or second quarter. I'm not a superstar if I'm talking as if I'm Haliburton. I'm not Steph Curry. I'm not a 4-time fucking champion or a 3-time champion. So I'm not finna be pointing at my ring fucking finger in the second quarter against a team like Boston. No. I'm gonna wait till I know I done the work to win, and then I'm gonna start taunting your whole ass. I would have hit that Reggie Miller at the crowd. I would have hit that shit at the players. I don't care if you hurt, my boy. We just battled. I'm finna talk that shit. And then after the game, I'm gonna make sure everybody good, bro. Like, you good, my boy. You know, good series, bro. Hard fought, man. I hope you enjoy your vacation, and not in no funny way. Like, enjoy the fam. Hope you and the fam enjoy the time off, yada, yada, yada. Because I know they're gonna miss you when the season start back up. I'm gonna check on fam. Make sure he good and everything. But while we on that court, I'm not missing an opportunity to be a menace. I am 100% finna piss off. Trae Young would have hit the shit. He would have hit that Celly. Okay? He would have hit the Reggie Miller in New York. Trae Young bout it. That's why I love Ice Trae. He would have hit him with some shit. Tyrese got it in him. And I know he wanted to do it. He just probably feel like he ain't on that level yet. But he wore the t-shirt, the hoodie after the game, which tells me that he wanted to do it. But to every dude that was clowning him for wearing it after the game, you can go to hell. Because you don't play in a league. You're a loser. You're sitting at home trying to clown a millionaire. When did that become okay in life? You motherfuckers are so worried about clowning rich people that you still living broke, hating on rich people. What's up with that? It's the reason most rich people don't respond back to you, bro. Because why would they stoop down to a broke man's level? A hating ass broke man level at that. Now, listen. If you broke out there, don't feel like I'm attacking you. I'm broke also. But you can be broke physically and not be broke mentally. These animals are broken physically and mentally. They pockets is got no loose change, and the brain is loose up there in the head also. So, you know. I'm just saying. But Haliburton being a tall guard, this is why I get frustrated when he chooses not to be a scorer. And you know, they lost to Boston tonight in a game that they should have won. And it's once again, to me, I continuously put these type of things on Tyrese Haliburton because Tyrese Haliburton got to be the best player for this team. It can't be Siakam. It can't be Miles Turner. They can be great players for this team. They can be the best player on a given night for this team. But they cannot be the best player on this team because neither of them are more skilled players, in my opinion, than Tyrese Haliburton. Or at least, no, I meant exactly what I just said. I think out of all three of the players, the most skilled one, to me, the highest ceiling is Tyrese. Now, I really love Miles Turner. I think Miles Turner is a great player. But it's something about Tyrese. And Tyrese have an advantage being that he's a tall guard. He can dribble. He can get to the rim. He can shoot the shot. The problem with Tyrese is he hold himself back more than the opposing team does. And I understand Drew Holiday is a hell, you know, everybody keep talking about the defender that he is. However, that is an escape option when you just choose to play bad. Sure, Drew Holiday played defense. What was happening when you was playing good in the game? And then you decided to take yourself out. Tyrese Haliburton do this thing where he'll take the ball sometimes and he'll make you think like he finna do some shit. Either I'm finna find somebody, I'm finna set up a play for somebody, or I'm finna score. And then you see him about to do it, and then you see him say, oh, you know what, never mind, I don't want to do that, and just pass the ball. That's the most irritating thing I see him do on a game-to-game basis. I saw a tweet the other day, and I really wish that I had wrote this tweet down before I actually started the show, because it describes Tyrese Haliburton to a T. Like, every time I watch him play, the tweet basically was like, Tyrese Haliburton, man, I wish I could remember this tweet, yo. This was such a great tweet describing Tyrese. I might just put the tweet in the, actually, I'm probably going to find a tweet and put it in the show so you can see the tweet that I'm talking about, because I cannot remember what the tweet said exactly. But to basically what the tweet was saying, word for word, I can't remember what it was saying, but it was basically describing Tyrese Haliburton the way I've been telling you he play. Basically, he don't play like a dude who go out there and know what he gonna do from possession to possession. On this possession, he might want to score. On the next one, he might want to set somebody up. On the next one, he don't know what the fuck he want to do. Like, him not understanding what he want to be as an NBA player is a problem for Indiana. Because Indiana probably beat the Knicks quicker, and they win tonight if Tyrese Haliburton 100% every time he stepped on the court and had the ball, knew what he wanted to do and be when he get out there. Sometimes he want to be Steve Nash and Chris Paul, just a heavy facilitator. Sometimes he want to play a Steph Curry type of game where he scored. But it's never consistent, and it's never for a whole game, it feel like. Even when they closed out the Knicks could have made a comeback and win that game, because Tyrese just decides to stop being an active and participant on the offensive side of the ball. And he don't really bring you shit defensively. So some people got to understand. I understand some people think if you play offense and you don't play defense, that means you're not a good player. That's not true. Sometimes you could be so great offensively that your defense don't matter because you make up for it with what you can do offensively. That can be Tyrese. That could be him. But when you have games where you decide, okay, in the first quarter, I might do some things. In the second quarter, I might not do some things. In the third quarter, I might do some things. And in the fourth quarter, hell, who knows what I'll do? I don't even know what I'm going to do yet. Well, that make it real tough for you to win because now, it's one thing for your team, the opposing team, to not know what's coming. But for your own teammates and coaches and the fans of your city, you not know what the fuck you gonna do on a given possession? That is a problem. Tyrese Haliburton could possibly be one of the best players in the Eastern Conference if he figured out what he want his game to be. Because he's so skilled at so many different things that he just won't put the whole fucking package together. And I'm going to be honest. Right now, he is probably the most frustrating player for me to watch because it's like he could be so great if he wanted to be. And then it's sometimes you're looking at him, you're like, this is what I expect from him. And then he'll disappear for 2 quarters. I really don't understand it, to be honest. And he is not a rookie, so he shouldn't be struggling with understanding. Tyrese Haliburton could call for the ball anytime he wants to. He could take shots and nobody would get mad at him. They would appreciate that he carrying the scoring load. But when you one of the things that I think hurt a team like the Pacers and could stop them from being, one of the reasons I don't think that the Boston Celtics done been a champion yet. Your best player ain't your best player every night. Tyrese Haliburton really haven't been what he was before the All-Star game, after the All-Star game. That's fine. But what's not fine is if next year the same thing happened. If the year after that it happened. If you got to question who is actually the best player on the Pacers on a given night every single time, your Pacers not going to be too great. You need Tyrese Haliburton to be the man. Now, I'm not saying that Tyrese got to do everything. Like, oh, everything is exclusively on Tyrese. That's not what I'm saying. But if Indiana can know every game, like the Warriors know what they're getting from Steph Curry, their best player on a given night. The Lakers know what they're getting from LeBron on a given night. The Suns know what they're getting from D Book or Kevin Durant on a given night. The best player for your team, you should know without a shadow of a doubt what he gonna give you. A bad game from him is something that rarely happens. Tyrese Haliburton has not become the player where you could say every single game, every single night, he is the Pacers' best player. Now, you might say that because you think he is, but you can't say it based off of production, the wrong word. You can't say it based off of how he done played every single game for the Pacers. Have he had more good games than Pascal or Miles Turner? Possibly. But when you're the best player on a team, that should be a no-brainer. Obviously, you should have the most. He got to become an attacker. You know, and this is one of my problems. A lot of people like to go at point guards who attack and score. Well, the opposition, the opposite of that is what Tyrese and some of these guards who don't pass, who only pass, and you like, bro, score the ball. We need you to score. You notice that happen more nowadays because with so many scoring point guards. Could you imagine if a Knicks fan would have said, man, I really wish Jalen Brunson to stop taking so many shots and pass the ball? What? He your best scoring option. Why, just because he a point guard, would you want him to stop shooting and score and pass it to less talented score? That's what I never understood about the Warriors. When fans be like, Steph Curry is only he not the point guard. He scored too much. Who the fuck you want him to pass it to score better than him? Because if you want Steph Curry, the best scorer on the team and one of the best in the league history, to pass instead of scoring, you're not winning that many championships with Steph Curry. I can't imagine Steve Kerr saying, Steph, the fact that you can score and shoot the ball like this is phenomenal, but you're a point guard. I really wish that you would pass the ball more and get others involved and set other people up rather than, you going for 40. I would much rather prefer somebody else get that 40. You know how fucking stupid that sound? That's essentially what I feel like Haliburton is doing to himself. Okay? On a night-to-night basis, he having this internal conversation on, am I going to score or am I going to assist? And sometimes it don't happen for neither of the two. And you could tell he in a brain clog, like his brain clogging, like on that SpongeBob episode. And then he turned the ball over. Speaking of turnovers, I'll get to you later on, Sparks. But if this continues with Haliburton, and this is what you got to understand. him being good for 2 quarters is not good enough at this point. Him being good enough in 2 quarters during the regular season, that's fine. You got to be good for 4 quarters or for the majority of the game, and especially when it matters most. If you are not a scoring option and you're see, that's one of my problems with Haliburton. If you believe that you are that guy, why are you always giving the ball up in these tough situations anyways? I understand LeBron make the right pass in the right moment, but go through LeBron's history. When the game is on the line, LeBron is still the one attacking the rim, getting the points and trying to get his team back in the game or trying to give his team the lead or something like that. Like, Haliburton at the end of games is like when you got like that 4-minute stretch where I need Haliburton to be great. Sometimes he disappeared, turn the ball over, don't know what he want to do. I can't have that in this round. I can't. And, you know, to hit on the Knicks real quick, you know, it was a good season. I know people going to say, well, you know, this happened, that happened. We got hurt here, we got hurt there. Well, bro, it's the NBA. Injuries happen to everybody. You're not going to see me use that as an excuse. But it was a good season for the Knicks. I don't really know if I would call it the core, because if this is my core, then I don't feel confident. But I like the pieces the Knicks have. Brunson, DiVincenzo, Hart. That is not a core to me. I understand all 3 of them played in college, but if that's my core, I am not winning a championship. That cannot be my core. That's just great pieces on the team. Now, Brunson can be a part of a core. Maybe DiVincenzo to a lesser degree. The second player on that core, or the first player on that core, got to be unbelievably solid if DiVincenzo is the third option. And that's not me going at DiVincenzo. I'm saying, like, if DiVincenzo was a part of a core 3, then I would imagine the best player on the team wouldn't be Haliburton. Because Brunson. Brunson would be the 2. Because of Steph Curry, LeBron James, Kevin Durant, Giannis. That's the type of 1 player that would make me think DiVincenzo is a 3. Because if none of those type of players on the team, DiVincenzo should be a piece to a championship team, not one of your core guys that, or maybe I'm just confusing core for some people, but either way, I don't think the Knicks is currently constructed our championship team, but I do think they got great pieces that could help win a championship. And I understand Julius Randle was hurt this year, but not having Julius Randle in the playoffs to me did not hurt the Knicks, because for one, if you got Julius, you change up the way you play in a sense anyways. And it wasn't that they lacked scoring or anything like that. They just started getting hurt and they couldn't play on the road in Indy, which was weird because they played fine on the road in Philly, even though Philly was dealing with injuries also. This is why if you're a New York fan, you can't use excuses for the injuries, because Joel Embiid was playing on one leg the entire series. And I didn't see nobody in New York that had a problem with that. I didn't see nobody in from the New York Knicks fan base say, oh, stop the series. Let's wait till Joel get healthy. I didn't see nobody do that. So I'm not trying to hear that shit now. But I do like Jalen Brunson as, I would love him more as a second option. As my first option, I don't really think that. See, I had a conversation with somebody on Twitter the other day, and I know he didn't get happy about what I said. But because I'm just now finding out that there's a lot of Knicks fans out there who were not Knicks fans when they were bad, but they are now openly Knicks fans that they are good. It's weird how that works. Nonetheless. And it's always weird to me because people are like, well, I'm supposed to rep them when they suck. I mean, if that's been your team the whole time, why do it matter if they suck? Y'all take this fan shit way too serious. I've been a Laker fan my whole life. When we sucked with the rosters we had, I was still a Laker fan, bro. Like, I don't know, man. I think y'all take this shit way too serious. It's not life or death. My team sucking or losing is not going to ruin my life in some slight or in some way. Y'all are ridiculous. But when Jalen, as much as I like Jalen Brunson, I don't see him. I don't want my best player to be a small guard as small as Jalen Brunson. And one of my things with the Knicks is, and like I said, the dude on Twitter didn't like it, so I know some Knicks fans ain't gonna like it. I don't think the Knicks is as good as the run they just had. I think the East is absolute garbage. Not even garbage as much as it is hella inconsistent. Very inconsistent. like, to me, one of the biggest problems in the Eastern Conference the last couple years have been the fact that the Heat keep making it to the finals or beating better teams, because it just keeps showing you how inconsistent the East is. You think the Miami Heat is beating the Warriors, the Lakers, the Denver Nuggets at they peaks during these runs? But they keep beating teams like Boston, teams like the Bucks. That's better teams, supposedly, with the better rosters. The East is just, to me, it's not a sure thing. And so when I look at the playoff run that the Knicks just had, I'm like, yeah, it makes sense for an Eastern Conference team. The Atlanta Hawks made a crazy run a couple years ago, beating teams that nobody thought they were supposed to beat. It just is what it is. You can point out multiple teams in the East that have these fairy tale runs every year, the Heat being one of them. So, to be completely honest, it's very hard for me to, and now listen, some people, I understand that I done had somebody tell me before, you talk football, so stop talking basketball. Well, I watch both sports, and I feel like I can talk about them both at a very high degree. But I get some people will be like, well, you know way more about football than you know about basketball, bro. You don't know about ball. But listen, I just know what I see. And like I told y'all a couple years ago, well, a year ago when the Giants made the playoffs in the NFL, I was like, I can promise you next year this team ain't making the playoffs, and they will probably be one of the worst teams in the league. It's crazy how that ended up turning out to be true. It's not really rocket science when you look at things, bro. You just got to understand what you're seeing. Not just, I tell people all the time, it's not just the team that I'm watching, like the Knicks in this case. It's everything around them. Like, I'm not finna use, let's say the Knicks won a championship. I'm not going to diminish their championship by talking about everything that went wrong in the East. That's not what I'm going to do. But when you're a team, especially if you're a team that I feel like was good enough to win a championship anyways. However, some instances when you make these fairy tale runs, I'm like, Joel Embiid was on a leg, and like a lot of people thought they was going to beat Indy. I picked Indy in 7 from the rip because I felt like the only thing to me that the Knicks, to me, are a great scorer in Brunson, a great three-point shooter in DiVincenzo, and a dude who worked phenomenally hard in Josh Hart. That'll work for a while. But it's hard for me to say that that's going to outbeat a Pacers team that I felt like had the better scores, the better overall talent. And the Knicks played their asses off. They did. I just don't feel. Let me put it to you like this. If the Knicks came back next year and got knocked out in the first round, it wouldn't shock me. If they came back as currently constructed. If the Knicks came back next year and won a championship with this team, that would blow my fucking mind, considering I would need to see who in the Western Conference. But if they, let me put it like this. If the Knicks came back with the same roster they got this year and made the finals, wouldn't shock me either. They could miss the playoffs next year, wouldn't shock me either. That's how unpredictable the Eastern Conference is. So I'm not trying to diminish the Knicks. I'm just at the point where I don't know who is a good team in the Eastern Conference because I don't believe in the Celtics. I don't think the Celtics is as good as people think they are. I think the Celtics is lucky that they play in the Eastern Conference. They able to draft Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. They got a better roster than most teams in the Eastern Conference. They got health on their side because they rarely is ever hurt. And when you put that together, they done underachieved far more than any other team in the Eastern Conference, in my opinion. Probably more than any team in the NBA when you really think about it. When you put their roster up against most teams' rosters, Boston usually got the better roster. But they ain't got a single championship in the last couple years. Or since KG now. So, to me, the East is a joke. That's basically what this whole conversation was. You know what I'm saying? You might have thought that I was breaking down Haliburton. You thought I was breaking down the Knicks and the stuff. No, I think the East is trash. Too unpredictable. It's too up. And, I saw fans say, we want parity in the NBA. We want parity in it. Man, shut up. I want somebody to be good every year and know I can rely on them going out being great every year, being the team that people have to beat. I don't know how great Boston is. I really don't. I know they shoot a lot of fucking threes. And they got a lot more talent on their team than a lot of these other Eastern Conference teams. That's what I know. And the same team that's supposed to win a championship this year done lost to Jimmy Butler with far less talent at his disposal multiple times. I believe they got a loss to Giannis in there. So, I understand. I don't understand. Fuck Boston. But aside from Boston, the Eastern Conference to me is just, hey, shout out to people who be betting on the East. Because I couldn't do it. I just couldn't. My sanity would not allow me to bet on something that's so unpredictable as the Eastern Conference. I just couldn't do it. But I also want to talk about, really, I should start talking about Jokic right now. Jokic and Anthony Edwards. I should. I'm not going to lie. But I'm not about to. And I'm not going to lie. I might not get to neither of those two this episode. I might actually talk about the Nuggets in Denver. I mean, the Denver Nuggets and Jokic, the Timberwolves, all that. I might talk about that tomorrow. Because I'm about to talk about my Sparks. So, my Sparks played tonight. We played the Washington Mystics. Shout out to Aaliyah Edwards and the rookie out of UConn. Shout out to her. We played them tonight. And we did end up getting our first win of the season. But my goodness. My goodness. Sparks, man. I don't want nobody to think I don't fuck with my team, because I am finna go on a bit of a rant right now with the Sparks. But I love everybody on my squad, and nothing that I'm finna say should be taken personal if I say something wild or if I say some wild shit. All right? But I don't understand why we drafted, or why the Sparks drafted, because I didn't play no part in this drafting. I just root for the team. I don't handle none of the business decisions. I don't understand why the Sparks drafted Cameron Brink to never pass her the fucking ball on offense. Literally. I have never seen somebody get looked off this much, unless it was just straight intentional. It feels as though the Sparks are doing everything in their power to not get Cam Brink the ball. Killer Cam. Now, this confuses me. Because we got some scores. De'Erica Hamby. You know what I'm saying? Kia Nurse. Lexi Brown. Rakia Jackson. Big Brinks. So I understand we got a couple scores. I understand we got women who, I'm gonna be honest, and this is no shot at Calderon. We need a better point guard who can get all of these women scorers the ball properly. Lexi tried to play the point guard tonight. She's not a point guard. She does not run the show. And this ain't me taking shots at Lex, but Lex is a shooting guard, not a point guard. She should be trying to score buckets, not trying to set people up. For one, she turned the ball over too many. We had 29 fucking turnovers. And it felt like every single possession in the fourth quarter, we turned the ball over. How we ended up escaping with this win, I don't know. We did everything in our power to get a game away in the fourth quarter, like we done the previous two games. The Sparks could be 3-0 right now. Instead, we are 1-2. Because in the fourth quarter, we fall apart. We turn the ball over. We don't have the greatest point guard play. So we run around aimlessly out there. We got women who can score, but we don't know how to get each other the ball. Hamby and Lex run this beautiful 2-woman game, but it take away the other women from the scoring options, and they only have eyes for what each other doing, which is one of the biggest problems we have. That's why I said Lex being a point guard don't make sense to me, because being a point guard by just title is not a point guard. All right. And I know I said that you want point guards who can score too. But Steph can still run the show. Chris Paul can score and run the show. It's a lot of point guards who can still score and run the show. Lex is not running the show, well, at least right now. All right. It's passes and ways to set your teammates up that somebody who, you don't even got to be a point guard, just a floor general will understand how to do that. We do not have that right now. We just don't. Because if we did, Big Killer Cam would not be out there running cardio. Because that's all we have her doing is running cardio and doing all the dirty work, which really pisses me off because if I were in that situation, Cameron Brink is just so much better a human being than me and is such a better teammate than me. Because I remember when I was playing, me and some homies was playing okay, so when I was in college, we would get homies to, like, I go form my team, my homie would form his football team, and then we go to a field and play football, right? And one day I was out there playing, and the quarterback for my team would not get me the ball because he kept saying, bruh, that dude on you. And I'm like, bruh, I am better than this guy. Just pass me the fucking ball and let me figure it out after that. Like, stop killing my production because you scared to pass it when somebody is playing me. Like, allow me to be great. Trust that I know what I'm doing. Like, you supposed to be spreading the ball around, and instead all you doing is, oh, I can't do that. Oh, I can't do that. It's more no's than attempts than yes type of attempts. Like, you more, every time you looking at somebody, you're like, no, can't do that. You doing that way more than it's like, yeah, let me try that. Yeah, let me shoot it. That's ridiculous. And so I spazzed out because I'm like, bro, I'm not out here to run cardio for you. I'm not. I'm out here to play football. And if you going to keep having me run routes, get open, and not give me the ball, you keep passing it to motherfuckers on the team who nowhere near as good as me, then I'm going to stop playing, my boy. So Cameron Brinks is a better teammate than me because I'm not finna be out here running cardio and playing defense for you when every time I set you a screen, you don't take it, or you take a bad angle on the screen, or you take the screen, I get open, and you look me off. I cannot tell you. Now, I know a lot of people would think right now, he just want Cameron Brink to be successful. No, I don't. I do want her to be great because she played for the Sparks. And plus, I fuck with Cam Brink. But that's not my problem. My problem is we are hurting ourselves by if you watch the Sparks play the first 3 games, Cameron Brink basically is not even a player on offense. That's basically how they done play, where they eliminate her from the offense altogether. Not the other defense. Our own offense takes her out of the game. Like, legitimately. They don't look for her in the post. They don't look for her at the 3-point line. They don't look for her when she wide open mid-range. They don't look for her, period. She took 2 shots tonight. She barely get any touches. If not for the fact Rakia, I don't know why Rakia get the ball far more than Cam Brink. I'm not mad at it because Cameron Brink and Rakia and Cam both can score. Cam is disgusting with that mid-range turnaround. Her and Cameron Brink could be such great duo options in that post-scoring type thing. Well, Rakia and Cam can both score from everywhere on the floor, which is the problem for me. Why do you have 2 great scorers in Cameron Brink and Rakia Jackson? And I don't want to say, I'm saying great loosely because they were great scorers in college, and I know they both could be great in the league if they get the opportunity. Rakia already showing you she nasty scoring-wise. Why eliminate a scoring option from your team? And this is why I say they have to go get a better point guard at some point in time, because I'm no disrespect to our point guards and no disrespect to Lex, who they tried to fill in at the point guard because she told coach she wanted to be the point guard. They aren't guards, and they don't make people around them. They're not making the offense easier for the Sparks. The Sparks offense is, if Kia Nurse is hot, let's just keep throwing her the ball, finding ways to get her the ball. If Hamby is hot, let's just keep finding ways to get her the ball. If Lex is hot, let's just find ways to get her. It's not setting nobody up. Most of the time, it's let them find a way to go get their own bucket. Like, we're not setting Kia Nurse up to get easy shots. She just get hot and go out there and find her own shot. Hamby is just getting her and Lex do play a great 2-woman game at times, but it's not really setting people up. And that's my problem with the Sparks offense. That's why we turn the ball over so much. Yo, if you had seen this fucking game, all the turnovers make no sense. And it's hard to explain this next part. But every one of the fucking turnovers could have been prevented. Every one of them felt like stupid ass turnovers. Like, what are we doing out there? One of the problems that we are having is that point guard position. Because anybody can touch the ball and bring it up and try to make a pass, and all we doing is throwing the ball away. It was clutch moments. With 2 minutes left in this game, we've turned the ball over probably like 5 times. We probably didn't score a single shot in like the last minute of the game, just turning the ball over, hoping not to have the Mystics outscore us to win the game. You don't accept in victory what you wouldn't accept in defeat. This was an unacceptable way to end the game for the Spark. It was an unacceptable game, to be honest, because the turnovers hurt them from scoring. That's the crazy thing about the Sparks. The Sparks can score with anybody, it feel like, because they do have so many scorers on the team. Like I said, Kia Nurse, Lex Brown, Rakia Jackson, Cam Bukers, Cameron Brink. What's my girl's name? I forget my girl. Hamby. De'Erica Hamby. What? Turning the ball over only fuck us. Especially turning that bit over about 30 times, yo. 30 times. That's how many times we nearly turned the ball over. Because I think we had 29 turnovers. So we was 1 away from 30. Do you know how bad that is for your offense? You can't get into an offensive rhythm like that. You can't maintain an offensive rhythm like that. So the turnovers we got to do something about the turnovers. The turnovers just got to stop. And I understand turnovers will happen. 29 turnovers, bro? Nah. That can't happen. My biggest problems that I'm seeing with the Sparks right now. Turnovers. We don't have a good enough point guard who can, and I really don't want this to sound like I'm taking a shot at our point guard, but I'm looking at the scores that we have out there, and I'm realizing how none of them can score together. This is my whole thing. When you have this type of scoring on your team, you want these, because to be honest with you, they got the type of scores that championship teams have at times. They actually might have too many scores on the Sparks, which I realized tonight. Hamby, I done named all the scores. You got 5 women who can legitimately go get you 20 points every night if they wanted to. I actually don't think that you actually want that many scorers on your team who need the ball or want the ball to score. You want to fill the roster out with people who don't mind playing lockdown defense, who don't mind not never getting the ball, who know that I'm here to play defense. Maybe go get a point guard whose only job is to set people up, who never going to think about scoring, which credit to our point guard. She's not necessarily thinking about scoring all the time because we play with so many scorers, but she is not the greatest at setting people up, reading a defense, and getting everybody else in positions to be successful. Because there's no way that you draft Cameron Brink to stand in the corner and be a decoy and to only play defense for you. If that's the case, Cameron Brink will not be a Spark for a long time because you are severely underutilizing her. This is why I keep saying, fuck our coach. And that's no disrespect to Kurt. I got no problem with Kurt. But Kurt is not the coach for the Sparks. Clearly, he does not know what to do with this many scorers on a team at the same time. How do I know he don't know what to do? Because the offense, we don't even run an offense, to be completely honest with you. Like I said, we just let them go out there and figure shit out. I said it before. When you play backyard basketball or you run something that's not nearly as good. I remember to this day watching the Spurs. And I remember this game against the Spurs and the OKC where the Spurs was down. But the announcers kept talking about how the Spurs rely on their offensive scheme and the system to get them shots. And at the end of the game, KD and Russ was trying to trade shots with the Spurs to win this game, right? And the Spurs was getting open looks because of how great the offense was. Meanwhile, OKC was just jacking up shots with Westbrook and KD. They wasn't really getting good opportunities, but because they take all the shots and they good players and you lived off of them just taking shots early and not really using the offense to get them better looks, they live with it. The Spurs ended up winning and going on to win a championship. That is what's happening right now for the Sparks. We don't have an offensive game plan that we go out there to execute on a night-to-night basis. De'Erica had a great game last game. So this game they came in and said, we just going to feed her again. That is not a good coaching system. That is not a good coach. That's not a good offensive scheme. That is not game planning. Every game the Vegas go into the game is let's find a way to, it's not even let's find a way. Becky Hammond is a phenomenal head coach. She got her team running a great system every time. That's why I know every time I watch the Vegas Aces, Jackie Young, Kelsey Plum, Asia Wilson. That's the three main scorers on that team. Anybody else who have a great scoring night is just that's great for the team that night. But the three women who I expect to play the biggest roles on this team's success year in, year out right now is Jackie Young, Kelsey Plum, Asia Wilson. You can't do that for the Sparks right now. Maybe Hamby gonna be great. Maybe Kia gonna be great. Maybe. The only thing I know for a fact right now that's not gonna happen is Big Brink's gonna be great because they don't get her the ball. It's like they do everything in their power to not get her the ball. It's frustrating. If this was Caitlin Clark would have been like, man, y'all bitches better get me this ball and get the fuck out my way. I can't imagine Caitlin Clark out there running cardio and being cool with it. Because that's exactly, prayers up for Caitlin Clark. Hope her ankle is good. But I can't imagine she would be okay with that. And my problem with the Sparks is I hope this ain't happening. But if there is a reality where the vets on the Sparks is like, Cam is good, but she can wait her turn. We the vets right now, we gonna score the points. She just need to play defense, yada, yada, yada. Yo, fucking trade me, yo. Fucking trade me. I do not like shit like this. Fucking trade me. I am not finna play, oh, you're a rookie. I'm a great scorer, but you're a rookie. So we're going to have your ass standing in that corner all year. All we need you to do is play defense. We don't need your points until we need your point. Fuck that. Do you know how bad that could be for Cam's growth? And my problem is, and I'm not putting it on the women. I'm saying I hope that's not what's happening. Because my problem right now, what I'm seeing is happening, the coach don't really have an offensive game plan to help her get involved in the game. And even though she runs screens, she get open, they just don't pass her the ball. That's why I wish we had a point guard that could get everybody else involved. And now, this is what I do understand. If the Sparks go get a point guard, you're probably going to get rid of Lexi Brown. Because I can't imagine at this very moment that you bring in a point guard who will have the ball in their hands all the time and making the decisions. I can't imagine Lexi gonna be cool with that. Maybe Kia. I don't think Kia Nurse will care. But Lexi she gets so many touches that I can't imagine she gonna be cool with just a guard coming in, taking up all her touches and telling her, I need you to be right there. I need you to run this. I need you to set this type of screen if we're gonna be. I don't know if Lexi gonna be cool with that. Maybe she will be, maybe she won't. But I don't care. I want the Sparks to be successful. And they ain't going to be successful if they got a head coach who don't know how to implement an offense with 4 or 5 great good scores. If you don't have a point guard that can get those scorers involved at the same fucking time. One of the problems that the Celtics done have for years is the first quarter, it might be Jason Tatum. The second quarter, it might be Jaylen Brown. Now, some people be saying, oh, that's a good thing. You don't know what you're going to get on a given quarter. No, that's a problem. Because if I don't know if Jason Tatum, see, everybody be thinking like, oh, the defense, bro, if I'm the Celtics head coach and I don't know if Jason Tatum going to be good for me the first, second, third, and fourth quarter, then we have a problem, a conflict of interest, because I need him to be great all 4 quarters. I also need Jaylen Brown to be great at the same time. Jaylen Brown scoring 14 for me right now and Jason Tatum scoring 10 for me in the next quarter. That don't really do shit for me. Why can't Jaylen give me 8 right now and Tatum give me 10 in the same quarter? Why can't the next quarter Tatum give me 6 and Brown give me 10 in the same quarter? Why can't they be great at the same time? That's what I don't think some people understand. Kobe and Shaq didn't have to wait a quarter each to have each other go off. Now, Shaq was the guy who, if he wanted to just take over, he could. But they understood they was great because they played great at the same time. They could be great on the floor at the same time. Nobody had to take a back seat to each other because they were both great, which is what made it so hard to defend them. I said it a million times with the Celtics. You keep telling me how hard it is to defend them. And every time they get knocked out of the playoffs, it don't look too hard. You defend one, the other one just don't do shit that whole game. You defend the other one don't do shit. The Celtics done been the same team the last couple years. They just got more talent than the other teams. So, what I would like to see from my Sparks after that little rant. Now, mind you, I don't want Lexi to be traded. I don't want Lexi the baddie to be traded. But I do want us to be a better team. And I do want to. We have so many. I love our roster. Well, I like our starting lineup. I don't really like our bench aside from Rickea Jackson. She come off of the bench right now because we got a great starting five already. But I just want to say, and it's really interesting to be completely honest with you because Hamby and I don't know why I said Hamby and Big Brinks, they start at the 4-5. Rickea would be your 4 and Brinks would be your starter if Hamby wasn't playing as great as she playing, but you can't move Hamby to the bench. And you damn sure not going to move Brinks to the bench because she your best defender, especially post-wise. I mean, you won the game tonight off of her defense. And yet they still will continue to not pass her the ball next game. And you want to know what's really the most frustrating part of watching them not ever pass her the ball? Almost every play, a player on the Sparks go up to her after the play and apologize for not getting her the ball. Be like, I got to get you right there. I got to see you. That's on me. Or I got to get you involved. Bro, how many fucking times you going to miss me before you actually get me the ball? Like at some point in time, I don't need you to keep coming up to me telling me, oh, that's my bad. I missed you. I know. I'm standing over here wide the fuck open watching y'all miss. I know you miss me, bitch. Now, that's not me calling any of these women bitches. I don't want anybody to think that. I'm a Sparks fan, so I'm just going on a little bit of a rant, okay? I want my team to be great, and I feel like we're not living up to the potential we have on the team right now. I don't know if it's another team in the WNBA right now that's got 4 legitimate scorers. Put this in perspective. Our entire starting 5 can score except for the point guard. And I'm not telling you the point guard can't score. She's just not the prolific scorer that everybody else on the star lineup is. And then we can bring Rickea Jackson off the bench, who would be a starter on most teams, should be a starter on this team. It's just hard to. Who you benching? You not benching Hamby. You not benching Big Brinks. You not benching Kia Nurse. You not benching. For one, it would make no sense to try to bench a guard for her. So, you know what I'm saying? The only player in our starting lineup who you would say, I want Rickea on the floor over her, is our point guard, Calderon. But Rickea ain't a fucking point guard, so you wouldn't put her at the point guard position. So, you know, Rickea definitely might end up fucking around winning the 6th Woman of the Year this year. And I see that they got first week awards in the WNBA finally. Angel Reese won the Rookie of the Week. I can't remember who won the Player of the Week. I'll have the awards next show. I can't remember all the awards off the top of my head. I probably should do awards on my own show. If I did them, then Dejanay Carrington would probably be my Player of the Week. My Rookie of the Week would probably be Angel Reese too. Well, you know what? Player of the Week is subjective. I probably would have Dejanay Carrington as my Defender of the Week because she do put up points, but I mean, them shooting numbers been a little shaky recently, especially shooting from 3. But I don't know, because some people could make a case for her teammates, Bonner and Alyssa, both of them balling out. I don't know who I'm biased. I really would just like to choose Sparks players to be a band with you, because I'm super biased. So If it were up to me, I'd probably get awards. Nah, we didn't win that week. So I'll probably give it to Asia Wilson to probably be my player of the week. My defensive player of the week would probably be Dejanay Carrington. My rookie of the week would probably be Angel Reese. Angel Reese I just love Angel Reese's game, to be honest with you. I really do. I think she got a great game. I'm still currently, I think, the highest ceiling for any of these women in the draft still right now, I think is, once again, I could be biased, but I really think is Cam Brink. And with Rakia Jackson being the scorer she is, she gonna fuck around and be a top 5 scorer one day. I really want Cameron Brink, and I want Big Brinks and RJ to stay with the Sparks forever. I'm gonna be honest. And Lex Brown. I really want all three of them to be. I'm biased right now too because Kia Nurse been hooping for us, so I wouldn't mind. See, that's the thing. I don't want to lose these scores in order to win, but we might have to get rid of them if we don't fix something, because right now you cannot have this many scores and don't know what to do with them on a given night. They don't play in sync to the point, and it's so crazy because when we do play good, it's not usually everybody scoring. It's just still one person scoring. But it's just them turnovers. When the turnovers start to happen, man, literally we should be 3-0 right now. We had Vegas on the ropes. We beat the I can't even remember who we played. I mean, we had the Dream on the rope the first night at Atlanta and lost that because Ryan Howard and Tina Charles was able to close out the game on us. Then we lost to Vegas because we allowed Asia and them to close out the game. Thank God we won the night and didn't allow, my eyes itching, the Mystics to close out the game. Hey, shout out to Aaliyah Edwards. She had a hell of a flop in this game on one of the plays where Hamby was going at her. Hell of a flop. Also, before we get on up out of here, I do want to continue to say, WNBA, do something about these goofball ass referees. Oh, something else too. Because I could go at refs all the time. I don't like refs in no sport. However, the WNBA need to invest in better coaching. I'm just going to say that right now. I might do a video in the future talking about it. But a lot of these WNBA coaches, to me, are not good enough coaches. And the problem is, the WNBA done been a lesser product for so long, they was able to get away with having coaches who really don't provide anything to a basketball team. But now that you have a coach like Becky Hammond in the WNBA, who, to be honest, could start to run away with these finals wins and shit like that, because the impact she had for her team is so greater than any of these other coaches for their team. And I'm not telling you every coach in the WNBA is bad. That's not what I'm telling you. What I'm telling you is it's better coaches out there. And you know what I would like? For some of the coaches who be going to coaching in the NBA, if you know you're not finna become a head coach again anytime soon, go coach in the W. Become a legend in the W. Because a lot of these WNBA teams could use a foot. And I'm not telling you that the coaching in the NBA, because they in the NBA, they better coaches than the WNBA. That's not what I'm saying. That's just a fact. It's a lot of coaches that are just simply better. Look at Becky Hammond. She went to the NBA, soaked up all that knowledge. She the best coach in the WNBA. She went to the NBA. So you can I don't want nobody to get mad at me make it seem like I'm saying that they can't coach in the WNBA. They just ain't got better coaches than the coaches in the NBA. You can look at the NBA and see the direct difference that a coach can make for a team. And you look at the WNBA and look at how bad some of these coaches is and the impact, the non-impact they have for their teams. I'm not going at Kurt. I'm not telling you he is a bad head coach. Okay? I know some people don't like Kurt because he an openly gay man. I don't give a fuck if he gay or not. Love who you love. I care about him coaching the Sparks. And I know it's better coaches out there for the Sparks than Kurt. Now, I'm not on here advocating for him to lose his job. That's not what I'm doing. I'm just making a point. If the Sparks had Becky Hammond right now, they would be a far better team. I don't understand not investing in top-level coaches. Some of the coaches for the W would never sniff the NBA coaching jobs. Becky Hammond might not ever coach in the NBA because she a woman, and I just feel like they're not going to let a woman coach in the NBA. But let's say they get rid of that rule. Or let's say because to me it feel like an invisible rule. Let's say let's say they finally hire women in the NBA to coach. Becky Hammond would be a head coach in the NBA. her level of coaching is just so far. The advantage that Vegas has, because they have a superior head coach to the other head coaches, that makes a difference. And I don't know if they realize that in the WNBA. The owner of the Sparks should look at the Sparks and say, not only could I sell a lot of fucking tickets in arenas, I like the pyramid we play, I could sell a lot of tickets and shit if I went out and got a coach who could put this all together. I mean, you got a team right now with Hamby, just put up 29 last game. Kia Nurse with the game she done had so far this season. The potential you got with Rakia, with RJ, because I'm finna, sometimes I call her Rakia, sometimes I call her RJ. With Rakia and Big Brinks, and then Lex, if you had a coach that could put all that talent together, and listen, maybe Kurt get better as the season go on. I doubt it. But maybe he do. I understand people say, well, you know, this is new, him having Rakia and Big Brinks. He got to figure some things out. And once again, one of the reasons I'm not advocating for his job is because they only get 2 fucking weeks before the season start where they get to train together and whatnot. That's not nearly enough time. What you essentially is asking these women to do is learn on the go. You get 2 weeks to train together, and then from that point on, you're just going to have to play together and learn how to play together over the season. That's bad for business, especially when you realize it's a lot of teams out there in the WNBA that's kind of stacked compared to all the other teams. Like the Dallas Wings got a lot of talent on their teams if you don't watch the Dallas Wings. The Aces got a lot of talent, even though I kind of think that the Aces don't have – I understand Gray hurt right now. I don't actually think the Aces have the team with the best scorers on it. Like, I think it's other teams who we might not think as good as the Aces or the Liberty. I don't know if the Aces got more scorers on their team than the Sparks. But I know they got better coaching. I know they know who they go to in the fourth quarter. I know they're going to know how to close out a game. I know the players on that team know their role and know when to do whatever they need to do to be successful. We don't have that yet on the Sparks. And that's the difference. But with that being said, I appreciate y'all for joining me on another episode of Kicking It with Saint. Tell somebody you fuck with them. Tell somebody you love them. You can be anything in the world. Choose to be kind to somebody today. Please, please choose to be kind to somebody tonight, today, whichever point in time you're listening to this. I fuck with you. I love you. And I need you to go out there and tell somebody else that too. Have a dope day. Saint out.
I got the moves like hot sauce. Lil' mama taking the top off. I'm laying down getting topped off. After this, you know she getting knocked off. I know she loving the money, so I keep on thumbing and thumbing. She say she horny when she taking shots, so I keep them coming and coming. Now I'm putting dick in her tummy, scoop her up like I'm raking her something. You would think shawty red track, the way that she running and running. You getting dumber and dumber. You out here chasing the bone. After she finished from giving me dome, the Uber is taking her home. Tight.